All right, welcome in. Welcome back. Good morning, Bears Fan TV. We have a special episode recapping free agency. I know it's not quite done yet. The Bears have made a lot of moves. They've signed some players. And obviously, if you're not on social media, they've obviously let a lot of players leave. And we both kind of have our opinions on that. I think there's some risk to it. Of course, you'll look at the title here. The Bears let a lot of key players, Kevin Bayard, of course, Brisker, just a lot of leadership, a lot of snaps. I think it's 5 out of the last 6 or 5 of the 6 top snaps on the Bears defense are now gone. And so, Vic, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and recap all of this. Really, really fun show for you. Again, hit that like button, subscribe. Before we hop in, though, and recap all of these moves, which we actually have a really fun document here that we're going to go through for all the players that are signed and then the players that were lost. And then we're going to kind of go over Kyler Murray. He's going to Minnesota, what that looks like for the NFC North. I think it's a gauntlet, of course. But, Vic, before we hop into Bears free agency, how you doing? Episode 2 of Bears Fan TV, but episode 210 of our, I guess, if we're going to continue this show.
Yeah.
But how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's I love these Saturday morning pods. It's great to get up and talk Bears. We'll get into free agency, but I'm feeling good. I know the Max Crosby thing, and we can talk about that. Everyone's excited to talk about that. But I think overall they did what needed to be done. So, and still there's work to do. I put this tweet out there. All your fixes all your holes and needs of your team cannot be fixed in free agency. It just can't. There's not enough money. There's not enough people to go around. So we have the draft coming up, and you hope Ryan Poles has a draft like he did last year, and that could change the trajectory of this team by a shit ton. So we'll see what happens, but overall I feel pretty good. How about you, Dave?
Oh, I feel great. Our logo, Bears Fan TV, is almost done. I can't wait to show that, share it with you guys. The rebrand is almost complete. Shout out to our guy that is helping us kind of get that completed. But overall, I'm excited. It's a good Saturday. I'm really optimistic. I know I want to talk about the free agency and what this last 2 weeks has been. I know the Drew Dahlman retirement. There's been a lot of players that have left, and we're going to get to it. But I feel still very optimistic about this team, and maybe that's Caleb and Ben, and maybe the offensive firepower that the Bears team has, and of course the NFL draft. I think that's where we're going to see a lot of this. They're going to get a lot better in the draft than I think they even did in free agency, and that has me excited. So, and then support has been unreal. We're over 1,000 subs on this Bears Fan TV YouTube channel. We just started it maybe a week and a half ago. So thank you so much. But Vic, yeah, I can't complain, man. I really want to just hop into the offseason move so far. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to start with players signed before we get to the players that have walked. Okay. Do you think that's a good route here?
Yeah.
Or we want to switch it up?
No, let's talk about who we got. Let's start with the positive.
Okay. So the Bears, well, I think it makes more sense actually do who departed. I think
let's do it
because then we can maybe we can start with the bad, and then we can figure out.
I like that
because I feel really good about some of these signings more so than others. Right, DeMarco Jackson. I'm actually really high on this, and I think than most people. I think you are as well because of the speed, how he played, but that gets us to the players that we lost. So we'll start here with Tremaine Edmonds. He departed. He signed. What did he sign with?
With New York Giants, right?
That's right. Yeah, the Giants.
He
signed a deal with them.
Yeah, I can't remember what the deal was. It was 3 year. I want to say it wasn't 15. Was it more 3 year 30 or something like that?
Yeah. So he got a little bit bigger of a deal than I think.
3 year 36. So about 12 million annual. So
yeah.
Which is a pay cut for him because that's why we let him go. He was going to make 18 million this year on the books. So yeah, it's a downgrade of about 6 mil.
They let him walk. Then Kevin Bayard, this is a big one. They let him go as well. He signed with the New England Patriots, a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very interesting. Brisker, he left a couple days ago, 1-year deal, $5.5 million to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's where he's from, hometown. Nashawn Wright, 1-year deal worth up to $5.5 million with the New York Jets. Of course, DJ Moore, he was traded to Buffalo for a second. Drew Dahlman retired. Jonathan Owens, we lost him.
Colts.
Yep, with the Colts. CJ Gardner-Johnson, another 1-year deal. He is gone. The
Bills
also
right?
Lost.
He's
to
with
the Bills.
DJ. Yep.
And then you have Travis Homer. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I don't think CJ was ever going to be a true player like target to return. It was more of a stopgap, even though I really liked what he brought. Travis Homer, free agent. Devin Duvernay, free agent. Ryan Bates, Scott Daly, all still free agents. That's right now the amount of players. I think the Bears have a couple more free agents, but that is exactly kind of where a lot of the defense is left. Like I said, 5. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up here because it's kind of crazy. So 5 of those players were in the top 6 of percentage of snaps last year. So yeah, 5 of the Bears' top 6 defensive players in total snaps are no longer on the team. So Jaquan Brisker, he had a 99.9% snap share. So did Kevin Bayard, had a 99.8. Nashawn Wright, 96.4. Tremaine Edmonds, 97.4. And that is a little interesting. I know he missed some time, but our guys at Football Insights, give them a follow. Really, really good account.
Oh, yeah.
They essentially, let me see here. They kind of explained it. What did they say?
I mean, it kind of makes sense. You know what's crazy is that Jaquan Brisker was in the 99% snap count, because that's been his problem. If that was consistent throughout the first 4 years, he probably would still be a Chicago Bear, but it's with the concussions and injuries. I mean, he missed basically all of last season just from a concussion. So kind of interesting.
It is, but at the end of the day, the Bears, and then it was Montez Sweat, and then CJ Gardner-Johnson had an 86.7% snap share. And I think that has more to do even with just you look at the injuries that the Bears had to deal with last year. That played a part, because Jalen Johnson's going to be back. Kyler Gordon's going to be back and hopefully playing full time, hopefully playing most of the season, not 5 or 6 games and be down for such long stretches. And we saw what Kyler could do in the Rams, where even though he was hurt, he still made some impact plays. But the Bears, on paper, they got worse, but there's a direction here that Chicago's trying to go. And I think we all kind of see it, although some may not be happy about it or may not trust it. What are your thoughts on letting all these guys walk? A lot of one-year deals that the Bears did not match. And that's the word right there. They did not match. They probably could have. Outside of Jaquan Brisker, I heard behind the scenes, it just was not happening.
Some of them. Look, they only have, if we're looking at the cap currently right now, obviously this is taking in the signings that happened, which we'll go into here in a second. They've got about $4 million, I think, in available cap. But technically, when it comes to the draft, because the draft has a reserve about $8 to $9 million for the rookies, they're going to be under the salary. I mean, they're going to be in negative. So therefore, there's going to have to be a restructured contract out there that's going to happen. I say all that to be like, it's not like even though these were all 1-year deals, it's not like the Bears could have signed a 3 out of 5 of those guys. The average 1-year deals of these were all north of $5 million. So just one contract of $5 million already would have put the Bears in the negative. Now, I'm not saying none of them were deserving to do so, but I can understand why Poles, who's been very good with cap flexibility and is very close to the dollars, said, yeah, that's kind of not worth it. So losing that many players in the season doesn't feel good, right? But I saw this tweet. I don't know who it was, but it was hilarious. But someone's like, if you were to watch the 49ers Bears game, where it was like 50-50, you would see why they had to revamp that defense. And it makes sense. Ryan Poles came out in his presser about free agency or before end of season, was like, we need to get faster. Dave, you harped on it all season about the defense. Faster, faster, faster. What did they do this offseason? They got rid of Kevin Bayard, which I think that's probably your biggest loss just from a leadership standpoint, but slower, doesn't play much in the box. Age, he's 33. This is probably his final run. Understand that. Jaquan Brisker, most of the season, not that great. Playoffs versus Rams, that was the Jaquan Brisker we were hoping we were getting, but it just wasn't consistent, and he was injured too much. Understand why he goes. CJ Gardner-Johnson, we knew that was a rental. That's why we traded for him. It was a cheap deal, 1 year. If he performed well, he was going to get a bag, or at least a bag for that 1-year deal, and he did in Buffalo. DJ Moore, that one probably is the one where, question marks the most, but because of the return you got, you're like, come on. I mean, everybody says a second for DJ Moore, that's a steal. So I think that's a win in my book. And then we all knew Tremaine Edmonds.
Can I ask you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. No, finish with
No,
Tremaine.
last one. Tremaine, and then Tremaine Edmonds
Yeah.
had to go just from a cap standpoint.
The most
I
likely,
think
yeah.
before he got injured, he was having a pretty solid season. I mean, he had like kind of the same thing we saw with Rome, right? First 6 weeks looks really good, gets injured, come back, it's not the same. Led the league in interceptions at that time before he got injured. But again, his coverage speed, not the best. Great in the run defense, but not great in pass coverage. So again, none of these players are perfect. All of them had flaws in certain sort of ways. And just due to the cap space that we had or the limitations, I understand why you let all of them go. And then the final point is this. They were all 1-year deals except Tremaine Edmonds and DJ Moore because that was a trade. Literally everybody else, the market told you that not only did the Bears not see that it was worth to extend these guys or re-sign them, it was that other teams, 31 other teams around the league, also felt the same. Jaquan Brisker literally did not get signed until yesterday. Yesterday he got, or maybe the day before. He waited
and it was
so
1
long.
year. Was it 1 year, 9 million?
I think it was 5.5. Yeah.
Yeah,
still,
just a little shocking.
Exactly.
But
so
you
that
thought
just tells you
Brisker and Bayard, you thought would get bigger deals.
Bayard, because of age, I wasn't sure.
Well, also had an all pro, but he had an all pro seat. Like
I know.
The fact he got a 1-year deal with, and I think he maybe.
I think
what I've heard. This is what I heard, and I'm not going to give out who told me this, but kind of closer to Hallis has a kind of a pulse on everything. Kevin wanted to come back to Chicago, overplayed his hand as far as like what he wanted money wise, and then ultimately there was a chance to have a reunion with Coach Vrabel.
Do it.
And it just, again, he kind of overplayed his hand, his agent, I should say, not Bayard, with Chicago as far as the money. And then ultimately he chose the Pats over the Bears. And I don't think it was a personal, like I saw them talking about like he chose Drake May and Coach Vrabel. That great. I think he talked so much about Caleb and Ben Johnson, the culture, what those two are going to do. But at the end of the day, I think he just played his hand, or his agent, like I said, overplayed it. And then Brisker, there was something that I just don't think he wanted to stay in Chicago, and change of scenery may have been nice, but
it's not like, again, it's not like the market was crazy for these guys. So I think it's different when you let a guy go and then you see 2 or 3 teams kind of in the hunt for this person, and then they give him a big bag, because then it's like, interesting. What do these teams see in this player that maybe we're missing on our evaluations? It's different when it's like, you know what, go ahead and test the market. Let's see where you're at. And then you see these guys don't get signed for the longest time. So I know there's a lot of variables that go into it. It's not just talent. The agents are doing all of this. So there's definitely all the politics behind that. But you walk away with saying, you know what? Yes. Volume wise, did we let go of a lot of people, especially on the defensive side? Yes. But which we'll get to here, they filled a lot of those holes with replacements. And the market also said, hey, you know what? Maybe your guys' assessment on these guys was kind of correct. Like, for example, Brisker's not coming back to the same team on a 1-year deal. That's typically not how it works. If you're a rookie drafted and you're on your rookie contract, if you're going to re-sign with the team, you're re-signing an extension or getting a whole new contract that's multiple years on it. So the fact that every person that we let go, or someone like Brisker, did not get a multi-year contract lets you know that there was no possible way he was going to get that in Chicago. So I don't blame Ryan Poles for any of that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I want to ask you this, Vic, before we kind of move into our additions. And there's a lot of good questions here in the chat. If you guys have any questions, first of all, throw them in there. If we don't get to it, don't worry. We're going to go ahead and bookmark it. We're going to answer them either at the end of the show or throughout the show, when maybe we get a little bit more time or it's more relevant. So keep sending those in. Hit that like button, subscribe. Again, we're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers here. We do have our rebrand coming very, very soon. So stay tuned. Follow us on all socials, Bears Fan TV, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X. But before we get to our players that were signed, because there's a lot of them that I'm excited about. If there was one player you could bring back on any of the deals that they just signed, but it's in Chicago, which one would it be? Only one.
I'm probably bringing back Bayard.
Even with Kobe, Bryant, how they're similar?
Yeah, probably. Because if I'm looking at talent-wise, I think he's the most talented of the group as of now. And there's the leadership aspect. You don't make it in the NFL. The average length of NFL players is like 3.5 years to nearly 4 years. You don't make it past a decade in the NFL without bringing extreme value to the team, whether that is on the field or off the field. And I think Kevin Bayard last year showed what he did on the field for sure. And then also you saw the off the field presence. So of just being a leader. So I don't feel like the loss of Bayard means that this team is going to regress completely because of him. It's not like you lost your quarterback, right? Or your star, left tackle or something along those lines, because it is safety, not as premium as a position, but it is a loss. That one out of all of them, I feel like you're going to need a replacement from the locker room standpoint and then also from a talent standpoint. Can Kobe meet that from a talent standpoint? Absolutely. But the locker room aspect, we'll have to wait and see how that is. Because, again, Kobe Bryant's only 26, I think, going on 27. And Kevin Bayard's 33, been in the year for a minute. So he's seen about every single situation, hardship, scenario that's come through and can help rally the squad.
Yeah. I think Bayard's probably the most, I'm seeing a couple in the chat here. I think that's the most realistic player and the best player to bring back. And I think the Bears are probably maybe closer. They wanted to. I think at the combine, both players, or at least the Bears, talked about, how much they liked it and would like to see that happen. GM Brian Poles, the only player he mentioned about wanting to bring back was Kevin. Yeah. And so the fact that did not happen after all those kind of comments in the media, it was kind of shocking. And then even Kevin Bayard, he kind of echoed the same sentiment as far as wanting to run it back with Chicago. But I'll go with him. Nashawn Wright going to the Jets. I thought he could maybe get a little bit more of a payday, but that shows
I was surprised.
His coverage. Like, he was kind of like, he made so many big plays, but it's like, wow, the inconsistency with his game it was telling at times where he was targeted. And
he's all or nothing. He's big game hunting. It's like Nashawn Wright is the batter in baseball that either strikes out or is just hitting dingers. That's what it felt like. Like, you're getting those interceptions or you're getting burnt. Like, there's games he got toasted. I think the 49ers game, he got toasted. But then you have another game where he has 2 interceptions or a pick 6. So I think it's kind of what you get with him.
Yeah. So we'll go Kevin Bayard. But overall, here's a comment here from Jeremy 9803 on YouTube. It says draft's gonna be like defensive tackle, defensive tackle, corner. The Bears actually have a lot of corners right now on the 93. I think it's a 93-man roster.
Well, now that we have also Zay's back, because you remember he didn't play at all last year, the rookie's 6th-round pick, so he'll be back.
Wow, I think it's off Frazier.
Yep. And then Terrell Smith will be back from his injury. He was out the whole season.
He just tweeted a couple days ago, kind of like,
I'm back.
What did he say? Essentially, like, the return is going to be just wait.
Good.
Yeah.
Because he was a solid depth. I mean, he's not like
he was better than Tyreek Stevenson at times.
Yes. So having him back,
Stevenson will be
Zay too, and then also Stevenson being back because he was injured as well. Kyler, we already talked about, injured. Jalen Johnson injured. So it will be nice to at least to start the season that like all of our corners should be a lot of time left, should be healthy.
Za, I think, there's a comment here, NJ on Twitter.
By the way, let me
Za will show out.
Let me clarify. I think it's Zay. I always used to call it Za, but I think he says it's
Zay.
Yeah, even though it's spelled like Za. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he follows me too. I need to get that right.
I know, but I've seen the beat reporters mess it up. I'm pretty sure it's Zay. Yeah,
I've heard it both ways, but I've really heard Za more. But
you know what's crazy?
What's
crazy though? Frazier. That reminds me of Travis Etienne. Right? Would you see his recent video?
Etienne,
and it's like, they mess up my name this whole time, and now I'm actually.
He doesn't say it.
It's Achan, and so it's like these names are crazy that the players would just be like, well, whatever the media says, we'll stick to it. But anyway, sorry, going on a tangent there.
No, I was just going to answer that. I think he will show out. I think he's going to have a great season. Or not a great season. I think he's just going to be a really good piece that the Bears didn't have last year. He almost reminds me of like Nashawn Wright, where he's going to replace that type of corner, where he's just a little bit
he's taller for sure and lanky.
Taller. a unique game. I can't wait to see what it looks like at camp too. We'll get a really good perspective how healthy he is, and he's gonna have to adjust. The game's gonna be so fast. Of course, this is gonna be his rookie season, and so I'm glad he's doing well though. And that he's gonna be able to be back with the team. But that's a lot of players on the defense. But we know what the draft is gonna be focused on for the most part, and so. But the Bears did bring in some other players, quite a few one-year deals themselves. But let's start with the biggest one. Kobe Bryant, 3-year deal, former Seahawks Super Bowl champ, adds the speed we talked about, Fick. I love this one. This is one, obviously, it's the biggest one that the Bears invested in. It's the Kevin Bayard replacement. Younger, 26 years old, with 27, I think, when the season starts. I can't tell you how excited I am about Kobe Bryant being on the Chicago Bears. I think he's going to be I think he's going to be a breath of fresh air back there. His like ball skills too. Like he gets interceptions, not as much as like Kevin Byard, but like that's something that turnovers, I don't think they don't carry year to year. Like we can't, the 2018 Bears, Fick, we're like, they're going to regress. And they did. The Bears are going to regress in the turnover margin. You got to get like better. 99% more are likely to happen.
Yes.
But the rest of the game, like obviously, I think is a little worrisome about like his missed tackles.
Yeah, he has a high missed tackle.
It's like 23,
21. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
21. That again, I think that can go down. I think he's gonna get better. That's coaching. That he's still a young player, but the aggressiveness he plays with, the speed, he covers ground, his instincts. It's just this is a player you want. He's also 6'1", right? He's a bigger safety. I love that. And so I'm so excited about that signing. I did not see it. I think also Seattle wanted to bring him back. And
they did.
And he's a Super Bowl
champ. Look at their probably one of the best safety duos in the league last year with Julian Love and Kobe Bryant. So they were dominant. I think it's a good signing though, because what Dennis Allen likes to do is first off disguise his defenses. A lot of modern NFL coordinators do. But in order to do that, you have to have safeties that can play in the box and out of the box, because then you can shift them post snap to the actual coverages, throwing off your alignment or throwing off your quarterbacks. I feel like we didn't see that as much. Like I feel like Brisker played primarily in the box. And then when he did play deep, he got burned a couple of times, especially in those Packers games. And then Kevin Byard was more of the deep safety. He didn't play much of not saying he couldn't, but he didn't play much of that run coverage because that's not who Kevin Byard is at age 33. So I'm hoping, or at least this is a sign, that Kobe Bryant is much more versatile. Much more versatile. This guy, you got to remember, this guy was a cornerback in Cincinnati and won the Jim Thorpe Award, which is one of the best DBs in the nation when he was in college, came to the NFL, was a cornerback for 2 years, and then transitioned to safety once Mike McDonald took Pete Carroll's job as the head coach. And this is only his second year, going on to his third year as playing safety. So that just shows you how versatile Kobe can be in this defense. And that I think is going to have a big impact on disguising these quarterbacks and what you can do with him. Because we've seen Dennis Allen, when he has a Kyler Gordon, who's also very versatile, what he does with Kyler, how he moves him around, how he blitzes him, right? The different coverages he puts them in, different alignments. You can do the exact same thing with Kobe Bryant. And I think that's going to be more exciting. So,
yeah, there was a comment here on YouTube. Aaron, I think it's Aaron Nance. Bryant's closing speed really pops on tape. Insane. 100% agree. There's a couple clips on Twitter that I've seen as well where I'm like, I mean, there's one that I shared where he's running downhill and just pops a receiver, gets a flag. I'm not sure if they took it away. I think they did. And who was it? I think it was against the Vikings, but it was just an unreal closing. It was the closing speed was unreal, but then the physicality to match it was just, it reminds me of Brisker. And I think he's just a better, more consistent Jaquan Brisker. And that's nothing against him, nothing against Brisker. Wishing him the best. Hope he stays healthy. But that's another concern where the concussions and whatnot and bringing him back. And it was never going to happen. There was no reunion there for Chicago and Brisker, unfortunately. But to bring in a guy like Kobe Bryant, it's going to be fun, man. The pedigree he has, he's a winner. And of course, the Bears trusted him, gave him a 3-year deal. And then
also,
they brought in, go ahead.
I was going to say his deal is cheap. I think it was under what his projection was supposed to be. I think he was supposed to be around 12 to 15 million per year, and he only got 10. No, again, 10 million is still a lot of money, right? But I think that shows, and we'll talk about like overall what this means for free agency. But if you were to look at past free agency moves that Ryan Poles always did, or even his re-signing deals, more than not, his deals are under what the projections will be. And that's why the Bears have been able to be so cap flexible and be able to make moves like getting off of DJ Moore and not having all this dead money hit you and then screw you over. So another one here, and I think you'll see that consistently through some of these other signings, but I just wanted to call that out on this one because this was the biggest signing, and yet it was still a team-friendly deal.
Yeah. The Kyle, there's a comment here on YouTube. Cam, Kyler Gordon, our best defensive player. I think you could say that's another addition like that we don't talk about. Like he was back late in the year, but he was not. He played how many games? 5 total? 4?
Yeah, and that's because and 2 of them were playoff games. So
but you extended him before the season and he barely played. So you're almost getting another corner. That's why CJ Gardner-Johnson came in to the fold. The Bears signed him as a great stopgap. He did well for what the Bears obviously brought him in for. A really good value deal. 1 year. Now he got another 1-year deal. I think he actually got $9 million, I think, with the Bills. But
yeah, he did. That's a pretty.
Kyler Gordon is, you could say he's a pickup, a free agent, right? Because he's healthy, man. Like you extended him. Now he's finally hopefully going to be able to play a full season. A little worried about his health, but we'd love to see what Dennis Allen can do with a guy like that for 17 games. So a lot of 1-year deals around the NFL. Jeremy, you're right on YouTube. 100% agree, especially in Chicago. But let's get to the others. Second biggest one, Devin Bush, 3 years, $30 million. 21 guaranteed. Former Brown, had a career year last year. Kind of was up and down. Like we didn't know what it was going to look like, but his career season last year really got him this deal with Chicago. Obviously more speed, physical as
4-3, 4-3.
But he's also kind of a ball hawk too. Like he had how many interceptions last year?
He had 2 pick
for a
sixes,
linebacker,
and he had 4.
Maybe that's what it is.
2 pick sixes.
When he gets the ball, he's like a playmaker, man. He's like a running back. And it's really fun to watch his tape when the Bears signed him because I was a little shocked that they spent money on a linebacker. But I like the deal. Obviously, they brought DeMarco Jackson back as well. 2 years, $7.5 million, up to $10.5 million in incentives. But I think you could argue DeMarco Jackson was better than Tremaine Edmonds when he's here. He's NFC Player of the Month or Player of the Week twice.
Yeah, twice, yeah.
But what are your thoughts on Devin Bush and DeMarco Jackson, bringing those guys back, pairing him with TJ Edwards? I think Dennis Allen, you can see, I think he's excited about this, man. He wants more speed. And of course, the draft is going to bring in an abundance of that. I truly believe that's going to be one of the biggest, probably, patterns in this draft is you're going to see guys that are fast. Obviously, they're all young, but fast. And that's what this defense needs to be. And all the guys they let go, I tweeted that graphic of like all the announcements of like Nashawn Wright, Jaquan Brisker, 1-year deal with the Steelers. And, you know, I think a cap just said, imagine if you told a Bears fan this like 5 months ago or 4 months ago. I think you would have been shocked, especially with DJ Moore gone. Many people probably thought Brisker, there's a chance to bring him back. Kevin Bayard, fan favorite. It's just there's a lot of people that walked on this defense. But what are your thoughts overall on the kind of revamp of the linebackers so far?
Yeah, I love it. I think the first one is the DeMarco Jackson. You had to. That was a re-signing. He played very well. I love, and I think a lot of people do, not saying that DeMarco Jackson is a no-name, but I'm sure if you were to ask Bears fans 2 years ago who DeMarco Jackson is, they probably wouldn't know, right? And that's nothing against like Bears intelligence. It's just not a big name. To see someone come in when they have their opportunity and seize it over and over again and then get rewarded, I think that's fantastic. So I love seeing that just from that type of standpoint. And so shout out to DeMarco Jackson. And not only that, the tape didn't lie. He looked really, really, really good. He fit the run really well, and he was much better in coverage than Tremaine was. Tremaine fit the run pretty decently. He had a pretty good run defensive grade, but his coverage game, which is crazy because he's 6'5", was not good. And I just think he wasn't fast enough to keep up with a lot of these guys in the slot and tight ends. So I like that signing. But what I also like is the Devin Bush signing. First off, 3 years, $30 million, not that expensive. I like that deal. To give context to Devin Bush actually was a first-round pick. And they were expecting him to be crazy. Like, I think he was top 15. Like, this was the guy. And he had some injury problems, just didn't really live up to the name. But it was the past 2 years in Cleveland, and particularly last year, he looked like the Devin Bush that they expected to get. Well, not the Browns, but the team that drafted him in the first round. And so if you get any version of what you got last year, this is a home run hit. But even still, if he regresses a little bit statistically, it is still an upgrade for the linebacker room. So what I like is when I'm looking at the parameters of these Ryan Poles signings is, first off, did it cost you too much? And secondly, did it improve your positional group? If the answer is yes to one of those, we're already looking good. If the answer is yes to both of those, that's a home run pick. It does not have to be a Max Crosby name for you to then feel good about the decision. So when I look at this linebacking room, I ask myself, did it improve? I would say yes. Did it cost us a fortune? It did not. So I am excited about both those moves. And now we have a linebacker room of DeMarco Jackson, Devin Bush, who's your starter, TJ Edwards once he gets healthy, but it'll be DeMarco and probably Devin to start. Then you have your backups as Noah Sewell, who's been a serviceable backup. He's got his flaws, but serviceable, and he's gotten better year after year, so I do like that. And then you have Ruben Hippolyte, who was a rookie last year, so we'll see what happens this year. I'm okay with that. I'm good with that.
Can I ask you a question, Fick?
Yeah.
No, I ask you. You're not going to say no.
Yeah, please, no, don't, please.
PFF. I know some people hate it, love it. I like it. I think I like to pull from different sites, right? Different data, different sites. Some do it better than the others, but I like the premium stats feature from Pro Football Focus. The highest graded defensive player in 2025 for the Chicago Bears, who do you think it was?
Highest graded. I'll tell you, it's not.
Overall defense.
I can tell you who it's not. So many people. Highest graded, it's probably DeMarco Jackson.
He is. Yep. 76.4. Yeah. The second highest was 75 with a 75.4 overall grade was Kevin Bayard.
Yep.
Jalen Jones, also, they brought him back, special teamer. He was the fourth highest graded player. But with DeMarco Jackson, I think it's just impressive the season he had last year. So he had a total, he actually had one sack, surprisingly. He had 18 stops. So basically what that is when the key for stops is like defensive stops, tackles that constitute as a failure for the defense. So he had 18 himself. And you got to remember, he didn't play that many snaps. I think he had a total of 370 snaps in 2025. And so, because of course, when everyone came back, he kind of got the pecking order. He got dropped a little bit, but he had also an interception. He had one touchdown, and he had a 68. He had a touchdown, DeMarco Jackson. He did.
That pick six. He did. Yeah, he had a pick six.
Yeah, but he had two pass breakups. He played free safety. Played 20. He had 4 snaps in free safety, 20 in the slot. Played in the box, 326 snaps. Played at the defensive line, up in the line, 18 snaps. His coverage grade, he basically targeted 22 times, 14 receptions for only 93 yards.
That's
just an impressive season.
Much better in pass coverage than Tremaine Edmonds by far.
Yeah. 34 tackles, 9 assists. He had only 5 missed tackles, but kind of high. But again, just small sample size. He's getting thrown in there. You know, he's not playing as a starter. I don't think he's going to start right now. I don't think.
Well, if TJ is not back, if TJ is not healthy by week 1, it'll probably be DeMarco and unless they draft a linebacker, who knows? But
I think.
But either way, it's a good depth piece. I don't know. I don't remember.
27 years old.
Yeah, it's a great depth piece. I just don't know TJ's injury because it was pretty bad, and obviously he was in the playoff game, so I don't know the timetable on that. I'm gonna have to look into that. We'll see if he's ready week 1.
Yeah. But if you're excited about DeMarco Jackson, like I am, hit that like button, subscribe. We have over 100 people on YouTube, actually over 1,000 on all other platforms. So X, and then of course, YouTube. Do us a favor, stop, hit that like button, drink your coffee, then subscribe. Tell a Bears fan TV. Again, this is also not our final logo. I just want people to know that. I keep getting asked this. Bears Fan TV, it's black and white version you're getting right now. This is just the OG. So if you're seeing it, watching these episodes live, this is going to probably be the last episode before you get our full rebrand. So I cannot wait. I know Fick and I are excited about what we were able to kind of get created. And the logo, we're going to reveal it. What, Fick? Early next week, maybe?
I'm hoping.
The goal.
Yeah, hoping.
But again, keep supporting. We appreciate it. This is a community we're trying to build. We have our Discord. Of course, we have our Patreon that's coming back. So all of that stuff is just around the corner, and the support has been unreal. So thank you so much. I think also we're almost at 1,100 subscribers. I think we're over that right now. So
how long it took us to grind the old channel to 1,000, which is fine. We loved it, but just seeing the overwhelming love and support means a lot. It really does. So
yes.
We really do.
And if you, the old channel, this is the only channel now for Bears Fan TV, was BFR. So if you're on the old one, stick over there if you can. I think there's gonna be great content on that page. But if you're shocked, or if you're just seeing this, or you weren't sure about what happened and you're just finding us, again, we did make a move over here to Bears Fan TV, kind of going independent. So the support means a lot. The best way to do that, though, it's not even expensive. It's free. Hit the like button and stick around, of course, and chat when we're live. So, and then also our Apple, Spotify listeners, our last show, I believe, is one of the highest listened to like podcast versions that we do. So, of course, this is a live show on YouTube, but the podcast, Apple and Spotify, the numbers on there, I think, were the highest we've ever had. So if you can subscribe over there, leave, rate, and review the pod. I know some people prefer to kind of leave some comments.
We replied to all the comments.
I think we got a few last one on there. So on Spotify. Absolutely. But the support on those sites, I know some people prefer to digest it as a podcast, and I get it. I do the same thing, whether it's running, working out, driving. We just appreciate the support. It means a lot. And we have also seen some chat questions. I did have so there is a giveaway that I'm doing. It is a personal one, but it's for the entire Bears Fan TV. It's a Caleb Williams Pop Funko vinyl, and it's pretty sick. But if you want it, check it out. It's the giveaway details. Follow Bears Fan TV, subscribe, like this YouTube video as well to enter. And there's also additional entries. So each one that you do counts as one. And I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner later this afternoon. But it's pretty cool. You can check it out, what it looks like on my Twitter. And of course, follow Ficky, myself, and Bears Fan TV. But Fick, anything else? We have more players that we signed, but real quick, anything else about the show so far, Bears Fan TV, that you want to kind of
more content coming? Yeah, it's just we're in a transition period, so we'll make sure by the draft that everything's gonna be rock and roll. And we're also working on new content that will be dropping throughout the week as well. So we're excited. That's it. It's just got a bunch of stuff coming.
Very excited. Very excited. Again, thank you for the support. Let's go ahead and move it here. Neville Gallamore. Someone said this sounded like a Harry Potter name that the Bears signed, but a defensive tackle, 2 years, $12 million, adds the depth to defensive line. Khalif, Raymond. This is another one I'm excited about. Talk about speed. He's a receiver returner. He's familiar with Ben Johnson. He was at the Lions last couple years. They signed him. What are your thoughts on that one? Does that get you excited? Because it's like the Devin Duvernay replacement.
Yeah, for sure. We've had, before Devin Duvernay, there was like 2 or 3 years we couldn't even get a solid punt returner. So the fact that you have Khalif Raymond back there is good. Also, this is a nice piece that's worked under Ben Johnson, and Ben Johnson's offense has worked with the wide receivers coach, Antoine Randall in Detroit. So I think they'll be able to utilize him. This isn't someone going off for 600 yards, though. Let's keep it a buck. This is someone who probably is going to be used on a lot of trick plays, screens, short yardage situations, and then it's going to be a major special teamer. And it doesn't mean he won't be impactful. He will. I think this is a good signing. But this isn't like, oh, wow, this guy's about to go crazy.
He's not going to get 80 receptions.
Right. This is your wide receiver 4, maybe 3 at times. So, but a good signing. Again, does it make your room better? Yes or no? Yes. Was it expensive? Yes or no? No. So 2 thumbs up. Like, you see a theme here. I'm like, I like these signings because they make it better. Even if it's not a big name, like Neville, I think Neville Gallamore, right? I've talked about, and we've talked about on this show so many times about how this defensive tackle room is probably the worst group of the team. So much that even some of the, someone made that comment, we're going to draft 4 defensive tackles first. So getting someone like him as a depth piece is good. Again, does it make your room better? Yes. Was it expensive? 2 years, $12 million? No. So I'm okay with these moves. Now, did it make your room 10 times better? No, but it is about adding incremental growth in every position group that you can. And when I look at this list so far, the safety group got better, the linebacker group got better, the defensive line, which there's still some people to talk about, got better, and your wide receiver room got better. Is there still room to make those rooms in position groups even better? Absolutely, but this was the first step, so
yeah,
I'm happy.
And I think
so
there's
far.
that added flexibility with Tremaine Edmonds going out the door. There's, I think it was a $15 million cap hit that he was going to have, but bringing in Devin Bush, bringing back,
just Devin Bush and Neville
DeMarco
Gallamore.
Jackson.
You couldn't just Devin Bush and Jackson, or even doing like a Neville and a Devin Bush. That's basically Tremaine's contract.
Yeah, they got a lot of value by parting ways, with Edmonds and bringing in those two guys. And so the allocation of like money, or the cap, it's a really good move, I think, for Chicago. Ultimately, it's like, remember like Roquan, right? When they traded him, brought in Edwards and Edmonds.
Yeah.
It's very similar. You're kind of making that exact same move Poles is doing. He's a little crafty here with some of the signings. So I appreciate what he's done. I know it's not flashy, but I think that's okay. Like the NFL is not won in free agency. I think you say this a lot, Vic. It's won through the draft. Like, you build contenders through the draft. That's where, where the Bears have to hit once again. They did it last year. If they do it again, they're going to be in a great spot. And our draft episode is coming up. We're going to have about 3 or 4 of those here coming soon. So
I
see a lot of people
here
about, hey, can you tell me your Bears mock draft? We will. Not today. More than likely, unless we have time at the end, maybe we'll do a little mock draft with you guys. But we have our shows coming on. We have some guests coming up to talk just the NFL draft in general. But I want to get to another move here. Braxton Jones. This is a big one. 1-year deal, offensive line. Obviously, Azie Trapillo. Not sure what he's going to look like next year. I don't think he's going to play at all. If I had to really guess, Vic, I don't think they're going to play him. I think it's going to be a full year of rest. And I think that's just because you can't go the entire year recovering and then all of a sudden throw him in week 12, week 14.
Might be later than that.
It's just, that's a lot. It's a tall ask, unless he's maybe a rotational piece, but you don't rotate tackles. You don't do that. It's not like the defensive line, So if you're doing that, then it's really bad. But
Braxton did it last year, unfortunately. But it's not. It's
Braxton
not
Jones, his tape is interesting. If you ask 10 Bears fans, I would say 5 would be like, okay, it's all right. We can get by. If you have another 5 would probably say, this is ridiculous. Like, what is Chicago doing? I think that it's that type of polarizing move. But I'm in the boat where Braxton Jones is serviceable. Caleb Williams is athletic, and he's a wizard back there, where he's going to make Braxton Jones look a lot better than he truly is. And he did that a lot last year, even with Drew Dahlman, which I think a lot of people like. He was really good. Dahlman was a Pro Bowler, but there was times where some of his guys just didn't look great, but Caleb Williams was able to bail him out, and he's going to do the same thing with Braxton. I don't think they're going to draft a left tackle unless it falls into the lap, but
I don't think so.
Braxton Jones, I'm okay with it. I'm more than okay with it. Your thoughts overall? I kind of know your thoughts, but you want to share them on Jones?
Yeah, so it's not just the Braxton Jones signing. I think it's also who they also just recently signed with Jedric Willis Jr. So they also signed him to a 1-year deal. And for Jedric Willis, he sat out last year because of an knee injury he had in 2 years ago. And this is also a former first-round pick. So the talent is there. It just hasn't been able to be unlocked yet, and there's a lot of variables that go into it. But why I bring up him and Braxton Jones, both 1-year deals, and then not only that, you have Theo Benedict as well. So what Ryan Poles is saying, at least to us, this is what it seems like, is that we're going to have 3 guys go at it in camp. May the best man win. That winner will be serviceable for this year as a stopgap, and then we're all in on Azie. Because the question was, going into it, at least a question I had, was do they truly believe in Azie, or will they possibly draft a left tackle this year? If they wouldn't have done any of these stopgap re-signings, especially with Willis and Braxton Jones, I'd be going into the first round thinking, you know what? maybe they do take one. Maybe they don't think Azie is the future. This tells me otherwise until another action comes that would flip my position here. So I like the moves because not only does it help secure the issue you have now, but it also gets you ready for what's to come by not having these long-term deals tied to both Braxton Jones and Jedric Willis. So what you're doing is you're buying low on both of these. Low risk, high reward. Like if they don't work out, they don't work out. But if they do work out, now you have a really good situation now where you have to think about, should we bring one of these people back? You probably wouldn't bring both on a longer deal as either a starter or a serviceable backup to Azie when he comes back. So again, you're seeing a common theme here by me. Did it upgrade your room? Yes. Was it expensive? No. 2 thumbs up for me. I will take that. 1-year deals are good when it comes to cap flexibility because it hits your books this year and immediately falls off. So you have nothing tied to later on, no void years, things like that. So overall, I like it. And to answer your question about Braxton's weakness is the bull rush. If he could just anchor himself, easier said than done. If you could anchor yourself, he would easily probably not lost the starting job. So it's not like Braxton is awful. He's awful against one particular move, but every defensive end prime move isn't the bull rush. It's not. Every person out there isn't Myles Garrett. You know what I mean? So
hope not.
Well, yeah, thank God. But if I'm saying he can make it work. And then another thing too, Brandon Thorne, who's like one of the big O-line guys I love following, studies like all the O-linemen. He's been doing it for years. Definitely give him a follow on Twitter. I think he was on one of the Bears shows and saying before free agency even started, one of the radio shows, and was like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they just go with someone who, like a rotation of guys, because when it comes to the offensive line, you have 5 guys there. So it's a lot easier to scheme around your weakness. And it doesn't like the one weakness, stand out like a sore thumb, like you see with a cornerback where it's really just 1v1. If you suck, it's going to get shown. There's definitely ways to manipulate the O-line to help take care of weaknesses. You have your tight ends that can chip, things like that, right? Running backs come into play. You got someone to the right and left of you. So he said that before, and then he was right because that's what we did in free agency. So I feel comfortable about Ben Johnson making sure that Braxton isn't always on an island by himself against someone like a Myles Garrett or someone who has
that's where
bull rush.
Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, those guys come to play, helping those guys out. John's 9214. Why is everyone acting like free agency is over? This is a comment on here on YouTube. Really good question. It's not. You're 100% right. But I'd say some of the splashy big moves are pretty much done. This is going to be more of like bolstering the roster, adding depth. Some of the not so, I guess, flashy moves. And so, although it's not over, I'd say the dopamine is probably like the big dopamine hits are probably gone. And so it's going to be more of those. If you're in the weeds, you love just football in general, you're gonna analyze some of these smaller deals like me and Fick do, and a lot of other Bears fans. So
also,
not over.
Just a reminder, we only have about 4 million left. So unless there's some reconstructions of deals and things like that, yeah, for sure they are. But we can't really sign anyone right now. So I think Dave, you nailed it. It's like the dopamine is gone. But that's okay. We had some
to the draft. And then Bearzilians on YouTube, Bear Down from Brazil. That's amazing. Awesome. Appreciate you. I'm not sure what time it is, but thank you for tuning in. It's 10:14 Central Time.
Name too, like Brazilian.
Yeah, it is. Bearzilians. That's unique. We also need to re-sign Darnell Wright, Rod on YouTube. We do.
That would help the cap. It would probably drop it down. Yeah. So
there's so many more moves to be made. But again, thank you guys just for talking with us. This is fun. The Bears free agency wasn't as crazy as last year. But again, if you think about last year, the Bears made some signings. Dio, Adebingo, Grady Jarrett comes to mind.
Yep.
There were some big moves that just did not pan
was
out.
Was OZ last year? Or was that the year before?
Who?
OZ. Lamade.
Oh, yeah, Zacchaeus.
Was that last year? Or was that the year before?
I couldn't tell you. I want to say it was last year because that was the first time I remember watching him.
Yeah, I thought so. I don't
think he made it. Yeah, so he played. I think it was a 1-year deal. Yeah, because he played in Washington the year before, remember?
That's right. It was last year. You're right. He played with Jane Daniels and had like a pretty good year. I will say this, though. We had much more cap last year. And that's what happens when your team gets good. That means you're keeping players on your roster, good players on your roster. And that means that more percentage of your cap is being eaten up by these salaries.
If the Bears hit on this draft defensively, they're going to be a problem. They're going to be a real problem because that offense is already going to be dangerous. Probably could be top 5 in the NFL if everything goes right, if everyone improves.
Yeah,
even with losing DJ. But there's a question here. I want to get to all of our questions. So this is 10-minute. I'm going to give you guys a warning here. Drop your questions in the chat. We're going to go ahead and do kind of some rapid fire here. If you can, hit that like button. I keep asking you guys, but again, we're over 100 viewers on YouTube. Hit that like for us.
Before we do that, can we hit on the final 2? Because I think there's 2 other names we forgot. Garrett Bradbury, we forgot about the trade. I just want to touch on that real quick. Did we? I don't think so. Maybe
last pod, I thought we did. That's why we
did. No, you're right. We did because the trade happened a while ago. You're right. I just want to say I do. Yeah, I do like that move. I want to say that trade for a 5th to get him. I think that was a solid move.
When you look at the because we didn't talk about the market, Vic.
Yeah,
how do you feel about that?
Tyler Lindenbaum, we were never going to get. I'm sorry. He made what $28 million per year, and just to put that into context, the next closest guy is $17 million. You don't see many positions where the top guy is that much more. And look, Tyler Lindenbaum is a dog. He's going to be great in Vegas. I think that's great for Fernando, my guy, coming there. You're going to have great protection. Also, the Raiders' offensive line was garbage, so they need it. But they also had, again, the number 1 cap space in the NFL. That happens when you're a bad team. So
and you're going to get a rookie quarterback
for
4 or 5 years, possibly.
So I think Ryan Poles did a pretty good job of seeing the market. Not only that, the Chargers re-signing, that was like $20 million. Someone else, or like $17 million. There's another signing out there as well. The Bayard one from Washington, that ended up being like $16 million. So I think Ryan Poles saw that the market was going to be a little bit more expensive than what you normally see and decided we got to make an adjustment. And so shout out to him on that. Will this guy be as good as Drew Dahlman? I don't think so. I'm not putting a ceiling on him, but there will be a loss there. But he does fit the scheme, and it's not a super downgrade. And again, the questions, was it expensive? No, which is good. Did it upgrade your room? It did, because Drew Dahlman's not there. So yes, it was the right move. So I feel good about that. And then the last one I wanted to touch, Dave, was Cam Lewis. We didn't talk about him. Kind of safety cornerback. Is that your new CJ? You know what I mean? Is that your new Gardner Johnson? I don't think he's going to be playing starting safety. I really don't. To be honest, they might draft safety first round. We'll see. Who knows? But it's good to have another versatile piece that can kind of play anywhere. So again, that goes back to your kind of trend that we're going to be seeing, right? Whether it's the draft or free agency, these younger, faster, versatile players on that side of the ball, so that Dennis Allen is equipped with all these different tools that he can use in a bunch of different ways. So what was your thoughts? I know we talked about Bradbury, but what's your thoughts on Cam Lewis? Did you like that one?
Yeah, there's nothing I want to see him play. You said CJ Gardner, right? Kind of like I don't know.
That type of position. We'll see what the talent comes out to be. But
because he doesn't have a lot of I'm trying to pull him up. Do you know?
Doesn't have a lot of snap counts. He's a little bit shorter. I think he's like 5'9", 5'10". So he's definitely going to be playing that nickel in the box.
Here's the thing. I'm excited about it for sure. Maybe some depth. I just hope. I want to see Kyler play, because Kyler, if he's healthy, he should play 99%. Like, you know, that we talk about the snap share.
Yeah.
What 5 of the 6 highest snap share counts for Chicago last year are gone. I want to see Kyler at the top. Obviously, pay him a lot of money. I want to see him in that corner spot. I want him to be healthy. So I like the signing. I really, the Bears did a really good job last year. Like, even midseason signings like CJ Gardner Johnson, to hit on the draft, to hit on CJ, especially with the injuries, it could have been detrimental to this team, to Dennis Allen. And they did a really good job evaluating talent, bringing in the right type of guys. CJ Gardner Johnson, from a culture aspect, was impressive. So you said Cam Lewis. Again, I trust Ben Johnson. I trust these guys that they're bringing in because of they're building this thing, and they've already started it, but they're going to continue to build on it. And I just trust their vision from the coaching staff. And I even trust Ryan Poles. Like, he's made some really, really good moves over the last probably year and a half, 2 years. And so,
that's a good point, because I think there was a comment. Someone said, oh my gosh, I can't find it, but someone was basically saying, why would we trust Ryan Poles to draft? He is not good at drafting. I can't find the exact comment. I'm sorry, but I'll say this.
Okay.
First off, high level. No GM is perfect. There's GMs that have a great draft one year, the following year it may not be as great. You're just hoping to walk away, in my opinion, a successful draft is walking away with at least 2 starters from the draft. So if you have on average 6 picks, because not every team normally has 7 because of trades. If you have 6 picks, you're hoping 33% of those picks, and hopefully your first and second, are solid starters, right? Not even saying all pro, things like that, solid starters. If we were to look at Ryan Poles' last 3 drafts, I would say in every draft, last year's draft is his best by far. The year before that, that was Darnell Wright, I believe. Or no, that was 2 years ago. Darnell Wright, and you got Tyreek Stevenson. You have one where you have Javon Dexter. That's a solid, right? And then you have Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze. So you're walking away in the past 3 drafts with at least 2 solid, that's it, players and starters for your team that are still on the team and will be extended. So I do have faith in Ryan. I'm not saying it's going to be a home run like it was this last season, but do I feel confident that we'll walk out of this draft with maybe a solid defensive tackle, maybe a solid safety, maybe, a solid corner, whatever position they go? I truly do. So I think that's why, and Dave, I'll let you attest to yourself here, but that's why I do feel confident and why I like the draft, because we now have 5 years of data that shows that Ryan Poles doesn't suck at the draft. Does he have misses? Yes, but he doesn't suck. And I'd probably say he's above average, which is good. And that's where the team's at where it is now. Like you said, the team is not built through free agency. It did not get to this point through free agency. It got to this point because it was able to hit on picks like Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, Kyler Gordon, even Jalen Johnson. That was before his time. Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, right? Those are all draft picks. Kyle Monungai, Darnell Wright. The list goes on. So you're hoping they just do it for the defensive side this time. Right now, it's mostly on the offense.
He stated, going to build. Brian Poles, the first guy here, is going to build the draft. That's how they're going to kind of create sustainability. And so we'll see that. And I think above average is very fair. The way he can trade, I think he's really good at really making deals. Not going to bring up, Claypool, but
he has one bad one,
but he takes a lot of, even Montez Sweat. Some people say was it worth bringing him here for a second and the end of contract?
100%.
Anyways, a lot of questions to get to, but I think you're right. The draft is going to be important, and that's what has me so excited about this team. I think they're going to truly be in a good spot, even if they hit on half the draft this year. I think they're going to maximize a lot of this. Also, there was a tweet here from Nick Corti on Twitter. Nashawn Wright and a couple other players might get the Bears a comp pick because of their APY.
Deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it also depends on their snap count next year as well, I think. So now the Bears have been screwed out of comp picks before, so I wouldn't be shocked if they get nothing again.
Yeah.
And there's some loophole, but
it'll probably be a late one because the value isn't super high. Like, they're not getting a third for what they lost. Oh, is there a tag on there? That's funny.
That's my friend Jay, by the way. His name's Scott. But that's Jay.
Okay,
he's going incognito.
I
don't know what that tag is.
The deal, though, because it's not a big amount, you're probably going to get like maybe a 6. That'd be my guess. Maybe a couple 6s based off people that left. They're not giant, but we'll take.
But how important was? That DJ trade, right? We gave a 5th away. So it's like these picks matter. If the Bears could have got 2/3 for Ian Cunningham, which Ryan Poles said he's going to have more to say at the owners meeting, cannot wait because he kind of held his tongue during his presser after free agency, after the initial wave of, I'll say the first or second wave of free agency is probably done, or at least at the very minimum, the first wave. And so Ryan Poles talked about it, the players that he brought in. He also wished DJ Moore the best, which I loved, right? And then DJ, I guess Ryan Poles' son was upset. And so he was like, man, that kind of sucks. My son's pissed. And the DJ sent his son a video. Well, I think he sent it to Ryan to show his son, just being like, hey, don't be mad at your dad. Like, It's just, it's okay.
Part of business.
It is what it is. And then he's up in Buffalo and he's doing the DJ Moore thing where he's just like, it's hard to read at pressers, and he's very kind of sarcastic a little bit, but funny. And so they're not used to it quite yet. And so the Buffalo beat writers were like, man, he does not look like he wants to be here. And I'm like, I think I quoted, I was like, that's just DJ Moore at the end of the day. So
yeah, he does.
You're going to love him. He's going to be awesome over there. So, but a lot of moves. Yeah.
I was going to say, before we move to the questions here, I just want to do this last one. I think this will be good just to kind of break down what Ryan Poles has drafted. There's a comment here that was from Vaughn that said, Poles is terrible at drafting. Last year, Ben Johnson picked those players, not Poles. I don't think that's necessarily true. Did Ben Johnson maybe help on the decision-making this year? Absolutely. Maybe that's what pushed it to the top. 100%. We'll argue that. But I just want to go through here real quick all of the drafts of Ryan Poles, and we're going to talk about the players that came from it and that are still on the team. And you're going to see a trend as well that looks like players are getting better and better. So 2022, he had Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, Velus Jones, Braxton Jones, Dom Robb, Zach Thomas, Treston Ebner, Doug Kramer, Jatari Carter, Elijah Hicks, Trenton Gill. Kyler Gordon is a hit. Jaquan Brisker, you got 4 years out of. That's like an okay one, right? Velus is a miss. Braxton is still on the team and was serviceable 4 years. So in just your first 5 rounds, you got 2 people from that. Not only that, Elijah Hicks was a special teamer, been on the team, and we're hoping to bring him back this year for his second contract. So you're getting 3 or 4 guys in that, and I think that's his worst draft. 2023, Darnell Wright, Javon Dexter, Tyreek Stevenson, Zach Pickens, Roshan Johnson, Tyler Scott, Noah Sewell, Terrell Smith, Travis Bell, Kendall Williamson. Darnell, GOAT of a pick. Javon Dexter, solid. Tyreek Stevenson, good depth, but still on the team. Misses are Zach, Roshan, Tyler Scott.
That Pickens pick that one sucks.
Not great. Noah Sewell, great depth piece. Terrell Smith.
He was playing great last year until he got injured.
Terrell Smith, we talked about him. We like him as a good depth piece. So in that draft alone, now you had a bunch of picks. You got 5 guys, all right, that are still on team. 2024, Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, Karan Amagaji, Torrey Taylor, Austin Booker. Caleb Rome hit. Karan missed. Torrey Taylor, it's a punter, so people don't like it. But last year, especially in the playoffs, that's a hit. Austin Booker.
You can argue the value and where he was picked
for sure
all day, but it's a hit.
Austin Booker being a 5th-round pick, I would say that's a pick. He's gotten better every year. I mean, that's a hit.
I'm excited about Booker in year 3 now.
3. Yeah, he's only 23.
Ooh, I'm excited. You
could see. Okay, so you can see a trend. It's gotten kind of better and better.
Keep it going. This is the next one.
Last one. This is the last one. Colson Loveland, Luther Burden, Azie Trapillo, Shamar Turner, Ruben Hippolyte, Zay Frazier, Luke Newman, Kyle Monungai. Colson Loveland hit. Luther Burden hit. Azie Trapillo hit. Shamar Turner was injured, so that's a TBD.
Could be a hit.
Ruben Hippolyte, I would say, is a miss.
I think it's a miss. He's too small.
It's a miss. Yeah, Za Frazier,
like the
TBD, we don't know. Luke Newman actually played last year, played well as a rookie. That, I would say, for a 6th-round pick is a hit. And then Kyle Monungai, we know how it is to end the draft, is a hit. Now, are you asking me next year, are we going to have a 2025 draft or are we going to have a 2022 draft? I don't know. But in both of those drafts, you walked away with 3+, if not more, players that are either still on the team or bring some sort of value. So I say all of that, not to harp and say that, Vaughn, your opinion is wrong. You're welcome to have that opinion. But my parameters for if you're drafting correctly is, can you walk away with 3+ players that are going to be on your team and bring value for a full contract, if not more? And Ryan Poles has shown that he's done that. And not only that, every year, and I don't think this will continue because last year was so good, but every year it seems like he's gotten better at the talent evaluation and the value of which he's taking these guys. So I don't know. Maybe I'm smoking the hopium, but I feel good about what Ryan Poles can possibly do in this upcoming draft. Sorry, I just had to kind of go through that because I felt like it was a
I love it, Fick. I think what you're doing there, it kind of just showcases a lot of the hits, man. It's easy to be fixated. It's like, for example, this might be a bad one. I don't know if anyone plays like video games or anything, but like Marvel Rivals, for example, you win 6 matches in a row. You lose one, terrible. You end the night. Wait, you really just think about that one loss, right? Yeah. And it goes for everything. You can go in basketball, sports, whatever. That one loss, you fixate more, right, on that one than if you even had like 6 or 7, wins or something like that. With the draft, sometimes like Torrey Taylor being in the, fourth round, some people can't get over that. And they're not even going to consider it a hit because of the value. They would never take a punter in the fourth round. That's just their, I guess, code, how they feel like as far as, drafting and I would say premium positions. Punters probably not at the top of the list. But at the end of the day, Ryan Poles has so many hits on critical positions, the quarterback being obviously one of the most important. You have the trade with, Carolina that brought all these guys here, and it's the gift that keeps on giving, because now I think we have another second from the DJ trade that is going to continue this trade from Carolina. But at the end of the day, the premium positions, Luther Burden, I think this could be one of the best picks because he fell in the second round. They traded DJ, and you remember the answer from Poles was, hey, why did you ultimately move on from DJ Moore? And I'm paraphrasing here, but he's like, the emergence of Luther Burden played a big factor. And then, of course, he also went on to say their faith in Rome Odunze also played a part, but he started talking about Luther Burden. And I'm telling you right now, we all know this. If you're a Bears fan, Luther Burden, I think year 2 is going to be just a monster. I think 1,000 yards is probably just like, if you're going to put any money on something, Luther over 1,000 is like, I think it's free. I truly believe that. And don't even get me started with Colston Loveland. So these guys, they're starting not just to hit on positions, but they're starting to it's almost like home run. Colston Loveland, I think it's a home run, Vic. Luther Burns, home run.
Yeah, for sure.
Darnell Wright, I think it's a home run after all. Caleb Williams, home run. So it's not just hits.
Double down. Down. It's you're able to make these decisions because you draft well. You are able to get off contracts and get value back because you found a cheaper replacement. Seattle, I keep talking about it, but it is the formula because they've done it twice in the past decade. Both of their Super Bowls were won, right, in the past, 15 years? Look at the 3 drafts leading up to their Super Bowl win, and you'll be like, oh, okay. You'll be like, makes sense. I see a bunch of big names on there. That's how you do it. Free agency helps add depth and fills maybe a certain need here and there. But if you truly want to find the superstars are found in the NFL draft. Because when they're superstars and they're drafted by the team realizes it and says, yeah, we're not letting you go, bud. So they don't hit free agency. It doesn't happen. That's why you have to trade for guys. So again, I feel good. We'll see where it goes. You never know with the draft. Not only do you not know the year after, you don't really know until like year 3. Let's look at Darnell Wright, for example. Darnell Wright draft him first year. You're like, okay, that's pretty solid. Like, you're like, yeah, we felt good about Darnell Wright as a rookie because normally the expectations are lower for rookies. Then his second year, you're kind of like, he kind of felt like he regressed, or maybe he got better, but it wasn't where you wanted him to be. And then third year, boom, you're like, okay. Don't even look at the Bears. Let's go back to Seattle. Let's look at Jackson Smith-Njigba. Jackson Smith-Njigba, his rookie year and second year, you're kind of like, he had Shane Waldron as his offensive coordinator, so that probably didn't help. Third year, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Now, doesn't mean that every player's trajectory is going to be that way. Some guys like Devin Bush maybe don't break out to year 6. That's the whole point of the sport that makes it fun, is all of them have different journeys. But I would say overall, with knowing that, we've seen that most of the guys, or at least half the guys that Poles has drafted, at some point have turned into valuable pieces. And so that gets me excited about next year's draft, even if those guys aren't super impactful day one, right? Look at Colston Loveland, too. We're like, this guy can't get on the field. He didn't really start producing until the Bengals game, like 8 weeks in. So it takes a little bit for these people, but now you walk away a year later and feel much better. So
Loveland didn't start being a focal point in this offense till about week 8. And then he, of course, ended the season with being the leading pass catcher in yards for the Bears. So
crazy.
Also, Carnell Bryant, apologies, sir. You're right. Grand slam. Caleb Williams is a grand slam. He's a franchise quarterback. I got to get that right. We have Scott Richard here, a.k.a. Jay. Is this the highest potential we've had in like 10 years? It feels like it, not going to lie. Got to hit on this draft. You got to hit on this draft, I think, if you're going to see this thing through. Also, is Ficky freezing, or is that just me from Mr. Green on YouTube? A little bit, but I think he's good now. So
bet.
A lot of stuff here.
I'm late. Catch me up. Huh?
Yeah. Howie Roseman, Howie R. Bears on YouTube. I'm late. Catch me up. Rewind this, sir. There's a lot to get to. Do not miss it. But the biggest thing, hit that like button. Also, I want to talk about percentages, Vic, because where you talk about hits, right, on the drafts and everything like that, 63% of our viewers so far, I'm looking at right now, are not subscribed. 37% are. If you can, subscribe. I know there's a lot of people that come in here and watch us. We appreciate it, but the biggest thing here, subscribe, hit that like button. It would be amazing. So,
absolutely.
I think let's just knock out some questions. We're going hour 10. We always do this, Vic. I was like, man, we might do a 30-minute show today. We might do a 40-minute. This might be a 2-hour show, but let's
get to some good stuff to talk about. There's a lot of good stuff. Yeah, let's get to the questions here. I love it. That's funny. Let's see here. Let's go through the questions in. Let's start here with Monsters of the Midway. Said the Bears still haven't addressed their biggest need, edge rusher. And while we can draft one, how long will it take for him to develop? Booker's in year 3 and still not the guy yet. Fair enough. I think that's fair. Booker was also a 5th-round pick, so I'm not expecting him to be, that guy. But if he does, that's a blessing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need help on the line. I would say, though, that as big of a need as edge rusher is, the biggest issue to this defensive line is definitely the defensive tackles. We talked about PFF, right? Mm-hmm. I think directionally they do a good job, and they have a bunch of other data that you can stack with other people's data that kind of gives you a good story. But basically, they didn't have a defensive tackle on the Bears, an interior defensive lineman that scored above a 60. 60 is average. So that means everyone was below average. Now, they may have been better in different areas. Like I know for sure Javon Dexter does really good in the pass rush. Not great against the run game. Overall, this defensive run game just needs to get better, and we're just not seeing that as of now. So if we go defensive end to start, I'm totally fine with that. But I would love for us to actually hopefully find someone with that first pick in. Yeah. All the needs can't get fixed in free agency. That's why we have the draft. And there's still time. We can make trades down the road. You never know what happens. But yeah, definitely something we need to address. Any thoughts on that, Dave?
Nope. I think you said it perfect. Let's keep it rolling. Let's do some rapid fire here.
Cool. Yep. Okay, let's see here. Question from Thomas Whitty, Patreon member, Grizzly member. Appreciate you. Said, but did they get worse on defense? While the individual player might be or have been better, they are better fit for this defense that was getting torched last year. I agree.
So I said, I tweeted this. I said, I think the Bears got better in free agency, and a lot of people met me with, an opposite opinion, which I love. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it. I just think the Bears ultimately, I know it doesn't, maybe they don't have like the not name brand, like the high, like Kevin Bayard's, like Jaquan Brisker was obviously fan favorite. They didn't bring in like high, like, or popular names, like household names, but they brought in speed. They brought in younger players. I like some of the depth that they added. And right now it's like, it's not finished. When you look at it just through the lens of free agency, it's like, okay, yeah, maybe they got worse, but it's like, they're going to fill a lot of these holes, and a lot of it, they're going to get a lot better through this draft because you're going to get some high impact players. They have 4 picks in the top 100. They could even trade back from 25. I've been seeing some stuff about that. So you can maybe add an additional pick, in the top, maybe 100, depending how far you go back. But, there's a lot of moves the Bears are going to do in the draft. I'm looking at free agency, not as a singular period, but just combined with the draft. I know it's coming, and the Bears are going to be just fine. So I think they did get better. It's just, you got to trust this coaching staff. You got to trust that the players they brought in are going to be able to, hopefully elevate their game, but also I think the speed. And when you talk about just speed, the Bears are slow. They're slow. So.
Yeah, they definitely were. So that's a good one. Yeah. Good stuff there. All right. Jay Hood here on Twitter said, what are your thoughts on taking Thieneman or McNeil Warren in the first round and going defensive end, defensive tackle second round? Thieneman, I would do first round. He is, you want to talk about a versatile safety from Oregon who transferred from Purdue. He looked great all year except against my Hoosiers. He did get torched there, but that would be a great pickup. I do like that. McNeil Warren, also from Toledo, a little bit of a skinnier frame, but I wouldn't be mad about that. Either one of those is going to make our defense better, so I'm fine with that. And then we talked about it going DE, DT. One of your first 3 picks has to be something defensive line.
I would probably go probably the Oregon safety. I don't know if I would.
Yeah, Thieneman.
I don't know. Yeah,
Thieneman. I would say Thieneman's probably is the higher rated one, but he's been shooting up the charts. They were expecting him to be like late first, and I've seen him now like top 15. So we don't even know if we'll have a chance to get him, but because he killed it in the combine, his draft stock went through the roof. So
I think
those would be good pickups either way.
Peter Woods too would be nice. The DT.
He's been falling, so that. He's been falling.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know where he would go, but I like him. Caden McDonald.
McDonald would be dope.
There's a lot of
there. I'll jump to this question though, because it looks like we're in the draft talk here. So from Jeremy 9803 on YouTube said, "Give me 3 names you want in the first round." I'll go first on this. Give me Caden McDonald. Caden McDonald, the defensive tackle from Ohio State. I will take Lee Hunter, the defensive tackle from Texas Tech.
I think so.
Thieneman, the safety from Oregon.
That'll be
fun. Those are 3. I think those are my top 3.
I'll give some different ones. I like Thieneman, Oregon.
I did take like some of the easier ones, so you have a little bit.
I guess you go like the Oklahoma edge. What is his name?
Not
Thomas.
Mason
Thomas. That's right. Oklahoma edge. I said Peter Woods earlier. DT.
That'd be good.
Zion Young. He's an edge rusher out of Missouri.
Zion would be nice.
I really
who's another one who now I don't. He was going to be on the first day was Caleb Banks. A lot of mocks had him going to us, but if you don't know, Caleb Banks sat out last year because he had a foot injury. But this dude's like a freak in nature. His size profile is top, like 99 percentile. Yeah, but then he didn't participate in the combine. What was that?
I don't think he's on the Bears draft board anymore.
He can't, no, because he broke his foot again. That's why he didn't participate in the rest of the combine drills, and now he's out. So there's no way he's going to be drafted in the first round now. And you can't. I don't think foot injuries suck because they're one of those injuries that keep happening. And with someone that big in stature, it's a red flag. I don't want to put a ceiling on him, but he's definitely dropping out of the first, unfortunately.
Doug, the other one, Caleb Proctor. I think he's the tackle.
Yes, he is.
He that could be interesting.
Bama, right? I think he's Bama.
Alabama. He could be an interesting one for sure. Good question. What we got next?
I can't wait. I'm already pumped up.
The draft episodes are coming. So subscribe for that.
This will be the final question here. Can you guys tell me your Bears mock draft? They're coming. So appreciate it, Jerome.
Yeah, Benjamin.
I think that's all of them. Oh no, we got one last question here from Kyler OG. Said, do you think we should have at least signed Bayard? We kind of talked about this. It's like,
unfortunately, no.
I understand why they didn't. If they would have, it would make sense, but it also makes sense why they didn't. Look, this is Bayard's last year. He's 34. So it's not a long-term play either way. So it's okay. But great question, Kyler. Okay, let's fly through the OGs here. Let's see if there's any. Yeah. Sorry, Douglas. Yeah, Caden Proctor, but appreciate you clarifying there. There's another one here too. Derek Moore would be a nice option. So, and then like I said, Lee Hunter, Dennis Sutton would be good. So it's the draft. There's tons of great options. It's just making sure you pick the right ones, and hopefully the teams before you don't. It's an interesting situation for the Bears though, because typically, if there's a guy we want, we typically have an opportunity to get him because we're picking high, right? This year, that is not the case. We have to sit through 24 options. We haven't had to sit that long since the Bears were picked 21 after 2018, and they selected Justin Fields, but they traded up to 11. So we actually haven't had to wait this long for a Bears selection in the first round in probably 10 years plus. So interesting situation to be able to, it's a good one to be in. But appreciate all the comments. I want to go through the OGs here and shout outs. Eater Scott, #OG on YouTube said, always love the Saturday mornings. Appreciate that. We love them too. Thomas, I know you're not here because you due to this comment, but our Patreon member here, Hall of Fame Grizzly, said, got to head to work. Keep up the great work. Bear down, #OG. We got Chris Lomed with the #OG. Let's get some buys. So excited for the new year. BJ's going to kill it this year. Absolutely. Kyler Villagomez, #OG said, love our signings. Wish at least we kept Bayard though. Definitely fair. Bear down. All love. We got Benny Kyler. Said, what's up, team? Love you guys and bear down. Best in the business. Thank you, Benny. Appreciate that. And then we got Jerry. I can't read the rest of the name, but Jerry, #OG. 3 things I have in trust. Trust in Ben. Trust in Dave. I didn't even read this. Sorry. Trust in Dave wearing a big hat. Trust in Paul's draftability. Round 1, round 2. That's just an inside joke that just came out of nowhere, but we love it. Appreciate all the comments as well. And thanks for the reminder, Jeremy. 40 days till the draft, which is like close, but it's still so far away.
Just enough time to kind of get even more prepared. It'd be fun.
Okay, last thing. We have 2 voicemails that came in. Just a reminder, I know we normally have the link down here, but if you ever want to leave a voicemail to talk about free agency, the draft, anything about the Chicago Bears, stadium news, blah, 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 post games, pre games, any of that stuff, go to speakpipe.com/ BFTV, I believe is what it is. So I'll have to double check. Link
we'll have the link in there. Yeah.
So, but let's go ahead and get to these voicemails. I'm kind of interested because I have not listened to them. We'll see what we have in store if I can find where they're at. Okay, here. We're going to start with Chris, which I know you're watching live because I saw your comments. So,
ooh, what's up, Dave and Ficky? It's Chris, Patreon Chris, just saw the link tree, and I clicked on it and saw there's a voicemail line. And I'm hoping that I'm the first voicemail. Anyway, keep up the great work, guys. Didn't miss the live show, but I heard it right after. Love it. You're the best. Wherever you guys go, I'm here. Whatever you need, give me a shout.
Appreciate that, Chris. Thank you so much.
Chris, and you are the first voicemail, I believe.
For
BFTV. Yes. And so appreciate that, Chris. You guys have sent a lot of message over the last couple weeks, or I think it's 2 weeks since we've kind of left and moved on. And of course, we have Bears Fan TV. But the support, the personal messages, the comments on X, YouTube, it's been awesome. So thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Okay, and then we also got Phil as well. So we'll see where this one goes.
What do I think of these moves? It's your boy Philly V. I'll tell you what, before I talk about the moves, I'll tell you what I like even more. Bears Fan TV. Because you know what? Anybody that doesn't rock with Dave and Ficky is a giant fucking loser. Anyways, I think that these moves are going to be dope. I'm really digging the safety signing. Our linebackers were slow. We got Devin Bush. We're going to kick ass and reach the Super Bowl. Bear down.
Love it. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Phil.
For the kind words.
Bears Fan TV for life.
Awesome. I didn't even miss
it. Keep that. We need to clip that one.
Yeah, I like that. We'll have to clip the end of that. But thank you, Phil. Thank you, Chris, as well. Both Patreon members. You do not have to be a Patreon member to leave a voicemail. You can go to our link tree. You can leave a voicemail about anything, anytime. It's 30 seconds. You grab your phone, hold it, send in a recording, and we'll play it on our show. So as long as you know it's nothing to get you canceled or get us canceled. But we appreciate all the comments. They're the voicemails as well, and they're definitely always fired after a game because that's when the emotions run high. So we appreciate that. Thank you all for that. If you do want to be like Chris and Phil, though, and join the Patreon, it is starting back up here in about a week or so. You can join. The link is in the description. It's called The Den, the BFTV Den. We're going to be revamping it, have a whole bunch of new features coming out. We're adding a new tier as well. So it's going to be even easier for you to get in, not as hard as a commitment, and there's a lot more value we're bringing to it. So we're excited about that. And then the final plug here, we do have our Discord. That is free to join as well. Link in the description. You can join right in. Tons of people in there. I think we have almost like 500 people in there. Awesome Bears fans. We run giveaways on there. We have a bunch of contests, especially during the season. We'll have a draft competition again, the second annual in there as well. So we appreciate everyone being there. And plus, there's just a bunch of cool people having awesome discussions. So shout out to Patreon members. If you want to join the Patreon, you can do that. Shout out to the Discord members. You should join that as well. And if not, just like and subscribe. It's free. It helps the algorithm. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, guys. We're getting out of here. Before we do, hit that like button. We appreciate the support on this Saturday morning pod. Just as far as our schedule goes, we are going to be doing every Saturday morning. That will always be the case. We are going to be very soon sprinkling in a midweek show, especially as the draft ramps up, the offseason. And we'll get you the regular season schedule, which is going to be usually our typical pregame, postgame, instant reaction. So that we'll revisit that later. Season's still a little bit of a way. But again, we are going to be doing every Saturday morning and then hopefully a midweek pod coming soon. Also follow us on all socials. You'll see our links in the descriptions. Dave, Ficky, of course, Bears Fan TV on all social platforms. The rebrand is coming. I want you guys to be aware of that. Follow it so you can see it. Let us know what you think. We want the feedback. We're super stoked about it. And I think that's all I have, Fick. Anything else before we close here?
No, I think that's it. Everyone enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, Saturday, beautiful out, a little windy, but you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday. If you're watching later or if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, we appreciate you and bear down.
Peace.